What's up, guys? Welcome to another Talking Bull podcast. I'm Anthony. This is Nick. We're here to bring you your weekly nerd news and talk some bull. Holy shit, I got fucking through that. Fuck yeah. Okay, so we're real quickly. Someone asked me today about the James Gunn thing. Because it was like, they were like, hey, what's going on? I've seen this, and there's a whole bunch of news. And we didn't talk about it because it was a whole bunch of bullshit. So basically what happened was James Gunn a while ago said a bunch of stupid shit on Twitter. Someone ratted him out who also said some stupid shit on Twitter. Disney was like, this doesn't fit our family-friendly version of Disney that we are now. Just don't remember Song of the South or the racist birds or the racist things in Fantasia. Don't remember any of that stuff. We're family-friendly now. We have to fire James Gunn because he said some holy shit inappropriate stuff back in the day trying to be funny. He got fired now, and all his cast was like, we support him except for all that horrible shit he said. Bring him back. And they were like, no. And basically, yeah, this is where we are now. They don't know if they want to use this script. They don't know if they want him directing. And
I'm pretty sure he's not directing, but I guess the big thing is if they're going to use the script that he...
They're trying to figure out if they want his name on it at all, basically.
If they don't want his name, then they won't use the script.
Exactly. So this is where we stand. We're at a standstill. It looks like Disney was like, we don't want him. Marvel might have been... Yeah, Batista's just been running his mouth the entire time.
Batista says if they don't use the script, he's going to ask to... be let go.
I kind of want to see what happens. I kind of want them not to see what Dave Batista does.
Yeah, because the pull that man has.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I would really, it would look weird because if they paint some other generic wrestler gray.
Yeah. You know who's probably not busy? The Rock. I mean, he's probably busy, but, you know, he's whatever. So there's your James Gunn situation. It's dumb. And, yeah, my whole thing is how long is too long to go back and, like, hey, this is this. And, like, 3 movies in, now you're going to, like, do this?
Well, whoever ratted him out, I mean, they should have just ratted him out after the first one.
Yeah, exactly. And, like, the guy who ratted him out isn't exactly Mr. Squeaky Clean himself. So, anyways, it's stupid, but I just thought we'd give you an update. We were off last week, so here's some stuff from last week real quick. We got a cool Venom trailer. It showed Venom fighting what seems to be... it was Riot, right?
Can we play it again?
Yeah.
Let's play it again.
Yeah.
We can talk.
Yeah, we're getting a little refresher because we haven't watched it. It's muted. The sound is muted just in case because I don't want to get in trouble. How do you feel about these stings before the actual trailer?
You know why they do that?
To get your attention?
No. That sting is what you see on... It's the 5-second video that counts. It's the 4 or 5 second video that counts. So if you watch that and then... Because let's say this pops up when you go to watch another video.
Yeah.
Like, that's all that has to pop up, and then it counts that you watch this video. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
That's how it's inflated.
Yeah.
Because to play this in front of, like, you going to watch a cat video on YouTube, but if you watch that 5-second little thing, it counts. You don't have to watch the whole 3 minutes.
I don't like that. If you don't have the attention.
Like that skip ad right there.
Yeah. So you see Brock doing some stuff. He's in a hoodie and looks gross.
They changed symbiote.
Yeah.
When they say it in here.
Yeah.
They say symbiote.
Well, because they didn't know how to say it the first time.
I didn't know who this was.
The guy getting raped by the symbiote there? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, like you just said it. Like
right. I think it's right. Yeah, it's one of Venom's offspring, kind of in the books, but like, I like the idea of what they're doing with Venom, but it's still weird to me. Bunch of action scenes.
There was this hashtag going around. I want to watch it again with sound later about the turd. Did you see this stuff about?
Like the symbiote looks cool when he's talking to him.
Yeah.
And like the suit looks sweet.
Oh, turd in the wind.
Oh yeah, there's this weird bit. When we get to the part in the trailer, we'll talk about it.
Turd in the wind. Right?
Yeah, there's yeah.
Is it the part at the end with the convenience?
Yeah, he's gonna eat his arms and legs, and he's just gonna be like a turd floating in the wind. It's one of those lines that it's cringy and stupid.
Yeah.
But like,
I seen that as a hashtag everywhere.
Yeah.
Hashtag turd in the wind.
It's so stupid. This is cool. Like he's trying to get used to the symbiote. He's not really sure what it is yet, and then
I like the finished look of Venom. It looks like that glossy look.
Yeah. Looks like a symbiote, has powers, looks cool.
Too bad he's the only character in this movie I'd give 2 fucks about.
Yeah, and then they're like that's here,
a cool shot.
Right there was the shot with the other symbiote, and it's kind of like you can see it a bit.
To the left, right there. Like
yeah, they're both kind of in it, but like when you first watch it, you can't really see it that well. But if you go through it, you can kind of get a good look. That blade shot's cool in the bank, but like yeah, you can see. I think like right up here is Riot and then Venom, but.
Like that's another cool one.
Yeah, because there's Venom right there. There's Riot right there.
Yeah,
it looks cool. They're fighting, and the symbiotes are off the thing.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. It looks good though. Like that looks sweet.
Yeah.
And then this to me, like then the face comes up, it goes Venom, and then it should have just stopped.
They show this little teaser of like a full scene at the end.
Yeah, it's just stupid. It sounds dumb. Like it just sounds dumb.
It's just, it's weird, and then you see him, and then
I like that. I like the look of him talking with the symbiote, though.
Yeah.
But like, I don't like that he's trying to eat him. I don't like when Venom tries to eat people. That right there is the corniness that I hate in comic book movies and any movie in general. Yeah. I hate crap like that. But it got people talking, I guess. But. Yeah. So there was a new trailer. It looks good. We saw kind of a little teaser of the villain.
I still don't know if I'm gonna go and see it come October. Like
I'm very on the fence. This is either going to be like really bad or I think like mid-tier okay. Is that Venom wearing a party hat? Or like a
sombrero?
Yeah.
And he's singing "Turd in the Wind."
Oh, like Dust in the Wind?
Yeah. But they're singing like parts of the song.
That looks funny. As much I just shit on what I said, but yeah. Alright. We got our first look at the Terminator sequel. It's just a picture from Twitter of the main characters. All geared up.
Yeah, I was like, whatever.
And I'm like, you got Linda here, and then this girl, and then this person. Was that
all of it? I'm like, I think I'm done.
I'm waiting to see a trailer.
Like I know that Cameron is produced by him and directed by Tim and stuff, but I'm just like I think I'm done with Terminator
until I see it. And what they're going for and what they're aiming at in terms of like trailer or even a teaser trailer, anything. I'm waiting to pass judgment on that.
You'll see it. I already know you will.
Well, yeah, but I'm like when I see it is the question.
Yeah. I'll get to it.
Yeah.
But like a year after it comes out.
Because
I have no speed.
Depending on how it looks, that's when I'll see it. Because like I love the Terminator franchise, even the bad parts of it. Like I occasionally have watched T3, even though it sucks. I've contemplated and I've gone to the Netflix queue and I'm like, there's Terminator Genesis, and I'm like, no.
Genesis isn't that bad. I'd rather watch Genesis than Salvation.
Well, yeah, Salvation's just awful.
But I have only watched Genesis one time.
Side tangent. What annoys me the most about Salvation is it's everything we wanted from a Terminator sequel. It is, other than the time travel stuff that we love to see, it's in the future. Yeah. We are finally going to see this war and what it is. And they're like, nah, fuck you. It's right before the war, kind of. And John Connor's not the savior. No one fucking believes his ass. And I'm like...
Which I get.
No,
I get it, but I didn't need to see it.
Get me to the part where they're like, he is the savior.
I do understand it happening.
Yeah.
But I never needed to see it. I get it. I do get it.
It falls into that fucking, like, time period era where, like, we have to explain stuff. Why he's RoboCop and how he feels and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, we just want to fucking see RoboCop. We want to see the Terminator fight. I don't give a fuck about the point where John Connor's like... Yo, I know everything that's going to happen. You should probably trust me. And everyone's like, this guy's crazy. Yeah, but you see that robot over there? I told you he was coming. No, you're crazy. And then all of a sudden, everyone starts believing him. And I'm like, man, fuck this movie. And then they had to rewrite the ending because the one thing you don't do is turn him into a Terminator. And they did it in 2 separate movies. And everyone was like, what the fuck are you doing? He's supposed to stop them, not become them. This isn't the Elseworld story of like, hey, what happens when we turn the Savior into a thing? That's the thing you say for like the comic book or like the fucking game tie-in, not the fucking main motion picture, where you knew the first time you did it, you had to rewrite the ending because audiences went, you did what now? Idiots. Real quick, Sandlot prequel. I keep saying real quick, but we don't know what that means. Sandlot prequel in the works with the original writer, and I went, why?
How do you do a prequel for a movie
about kids playing baseball in the summer with this girl who they think is really hot, and there's a dog? Yeah. And I'm like, I don't care about the origin of the dog.
The movie is like 25 years ago, so how are you doing a prequel? Like, so obviously none of those kids are in this movie. I'm not talking like obviously the actors, but I'm saying like even the characters.
Yeah.
Are any of those characters in this movie?
They're like they're 3 now. Like I just don't care.
It's about the group before them, before the guy went blind.
You're killing me, Smalls.
Yeah, before Peter goes blind.
Yeah. I'm just like, okay. I just don't care.
But it falls into the Terminator. It falls into the
but at least
just go with it. It falls into the fucking what was the other one with Halloween or what? It falls into that category of now we're at a point where we're not even rebooting and going forward. We literally are going back and making sequels to movies that were 25 years ago.
Yeah.
In some cases, movies there is a sequel to there's two sequels to Sandlot. Much like there's 2 sequels to Terminator and Halloween, there are sequels. But now they're going back and making the real sequel, the official sequel.
Which, if the sequels are awful and they fix,
spread it out. Now it's spread out so far that Sandlot's falling into.
See, I think the problem we have with this is we know they're sequels. We know they're bad. They're trying to hit the...
These ones were direct to like video ones. Barely count.
Yeah.
But the Terminator ones, people saw those. Those count. I don't give a shit if they're bad. That's not what I'm talking about. Those count. They were all fucking theatrically released. Same with Halloween. They were all theatrically released. People saw those movies.
Yeah.
Not many people, but they all came out. So to tell me that people don't know those ones exist, that's bullshit. They know those ones exist.
No, I think they're trying to hit the group of people who are like, they know of the property, and they're like, hey, here's a sequel to that property. Or maybe for the first time, they've seen the first Terminator or the second Terminator.
Yeah, like, I get what you're saying in the idea of like new people watching Terminator. Let's say new people who just watched Genesis a few years ago.
Yeah.
Didn't know the other ones. Okay. So like, now we're making the sequel to those other ones. But, like, if they didn't watch... Let's say there's a 12-year-old who watched Genesis for the first time, not knowing the other ones. Okay.
Poor guy.
If he didn't go and then watch the other ones 3 years ago, after watching Genesis, do you think he's going to go watch those other ones now that he's getting the official T3?
If he's smart, yes.
But do you think... you know what I'm saying? Like, if he didn't already get his... Like, pique his interest after watching that and being like, oh, I wonder what the other ones are like, or whatever.
Yeah.
Or like, if he didn't already do that...
He's not doing it now.
Official T3 right now.
Yeah.
He's not going to go and watch those other 2.
I'm okay with it because, like, we're getting a movie anyways, and I'd rather have it be a sequel to something than another reboot. Mm-hmm. Like, we just got another Spider-Man reboot. And, like, I love Spider-Man, but at this point, you could make a fucking multiverse movie with different Spider-Mans. That'd be fucking cool. That'd be fucking cool, but it's just, like, it's too many too soon.
Yeah.
And like
9 years.
Yeah, to reboot Terminator again would be like fuck off. Stop.
But it goes in that what we were just talking about downstairs about something.
I think it was Fuckface in his 5
movies.
movies.
It was Rangers. So just go with me.
Oh yeah, that so
the idea of like what if they just like okay, Genesis didn't work.
Yeah.
What if they just made Genesis 2 though and made it an actual good film?
I'd be okay with that. If we try to fix what was wrong with Genesis, go for it.
Instead of rebooting again, fine. Yeah. Don't reboot. Don't start over. But just make Genesis 2 and make it an actually good film.
Yeah.
Because Genesis 2 had a nice tie-in to the other ones by not erasing the other... You know what I'm saying? Like, they did the whole fucking Star Trek thing. You know, they kept...
Star Trek did it the best.
They did it, but Genesis did the same thing.
Yeah.
But it just... The movie itself wasn't good. But they had that idea of not erasing what was done. They didn't reboot it. It wasn't like they erased it.
I think it just erased...
The film just...
It erased 3 and Salvation, right?
I don't think it erased. It might have erased 3. I don't think it did Salvation because Salvation is in the future, where part of Genesis is. So like,
I'm just gonna pretend it erased its Salvation.
Okay.
But yeah, technically, I think it erased 3. Yeah, which like it kept the 2 that I care about. So good on it. And then like yeah, that.
But why? But going to what you said about you don't want another reboot. So
yeah.
Just make another.
Like, I'd be okay with that too. I'd be okay with that too. And like if you can make a shitty movie and do a good sequel to it. Mm-hmm. I can't think of any examples right now, but I know there is some. Mm-hmm. But I was trying to think of, there was one fucking thing I was going to say, but I can't remember what it was now. Fuck, I lost it again. It was something to do with reboots and sequels that I can't fucking remember what the hell I was going to say, so I'm sure it'll come to me 25 minutes from now. It's going to... No. Just in... Oh, I remember what it was. Movies like Halloween's and your Friday the 13th's and Superman's, to make this point, they did 2 widely successful movies, and same with Halloween, and as well as like maybe some of the Nightmare on Elm Streets and whatnot. And then they give these licenses or to other, they're like, we don't want to necessarily make sequels, but we know they're big money for the most part, so we'll do it with a third party and like cheaper budget, and they're absolute fucking dog shit. Or in terms of Halloween 3, doesn't even have to do with Jason. That's fucking dumb. And like Superman 3 and Superman the Quest for Peace are absolute garbage. Like,
well, the third one's not.
It's garbage compared to the first 2. It's not a good Superman movie.
I think the third one's way better than the fourth one, though.
Oh, yeah. Fucking Superman Returns is better than the fourth. Batman v Superman is better than the fourth one. Batman and Robin is better than that.
Yeah.
You know what's not better? The Dark Knight Rises. Actually, I don't know. Hot take. Yeah, it's just I'd like them getting rid of those. Mm-hmm. Like Superman Returns did 1, 2, and then it goes Returns, if I'm not mistaken, right? That's cool because it erases 3 and 4.
Well, it doesn't erase it. It just plugs in between.
In my mind, it gets rid of 3 and 4. Mm-hmm. And I think everyone else collectively, because they forgot about 3 and 4. Mm-hmm. And parts of 2. Depending on which cut. Parts of 1. Depending on what cut you're watching. Mm-hmm. But that dude, stop making so many cuts. Mm-hmm. Like, there's so many movies, like, you just, like, I get technically canon-wise, usually the theatrical cut counts. But, like, then they put it out and they're like, no, this one. Like, Blade Runner has 3 cuts, or 6 cuts, I think. Mm-hmm. There's a cut of Highlander that completely redoes Highlander 2 with good reason. They decided that they wanted to be aliens instead of just people who were immortal. Mm-hmm. So instead of being immortal, they were from another planet, and when they came here, they became immortal. And everyone went, what the fuck did you just do to this franchise? You had such a cool premise where 2 people fight to the death and behead each other. Then you ruined it by making this sequel that's absolute garbage. And then you continued to drive the franchise into the ground. You think Superman went bad? Oh, fuck, did Highlander fuck the duck. But somehow we got Highlander, the TV show, which was great. But yeah, I like the idea of that and getting rid of like those cheap ass like theatrical things that theoretically are at best Disney sequels. In my mind, yes. In my mind, yes. It goes.
You can delete, like, put it in the trash bin. It's gone.
Easily. I have forgotten Iron Man 3, The Dark Knight Rises, those 2 Superman movies, Terminator Salvation. It now goes 1, 2, maybe 3, then Genesis. Superman goes Superman 2, and then Returns, a movie I didn't watch for 15 fucking years because I didn't give a shit about. It's very easy to forget. Highlander, I managed to forget, and most of the people did, that there was a last movie because it was so bad. It also decided to completely do away with any context of what the actual premise of the thing was. I don't understand why some people are just like, hey, we have a premise. It's a good premise. You know what? Fuck it. We'll throw it out the window. They do the CW writing staff thing. They just chuck the rule book out the window and have no fucking semblance of what this thing is. And then the actors sign on for this movie and go, oh fuck, I shouldn't have signed on for this movie.
Always get the script first.
Speaking of things that never die, two the Power Rangers things we mentioned. One, there was this weird press statement that Hasbro put out saying, we're moving forward with a movie.
It kind of says...
It vaguely says sequel. It vaguely might be a new one. No one really fucking knows.
The way I read it, it seemed like they were making just a good Power Rangers 2.
Yeah.
Like building off of that first one. Give it a little bit more money, tighten up the storytelling, whatever, maybe tweak whatever, and just move forward. That's what it sounded like, or what I read.
And what we'll probably get is a new one.
Depending on how long it takes.
Yeah.
Like if it takes 2-3 years, you're probably got best scrap it, start fresh.
Yeah.
If you get it out in 2 years, that's good.
Yeah.
If it's just dragging 5, 6, 7 years, no, we're just rebooting.
Knowing
35 now.
Knowing Hasbro, this movie will come out sooner rather than later.
The Transformers movie.
That's the reason they bought the Power Rangers franchise, is to steer the franchise back into the they're not going to get the powerhouse that it was. No. But get it kind of back to where it was.
And movie-wise, you can do it like Transformers.
Yeah, the TV show people are starting to watch again. The comic is fucking killing it, and it's a really good fucking book. The legacy figure lines, and even to the extent the normal TV show lines, they sell out regularly. You can't find them. They do second incarnations. They are continuing with the legacy lines for figures, helmets, fucking morphers. We got the Zero Morpher, we got the fucking Power Sword, we got the both helmets for the Red and Green Ranger, which are awesome. Just shit like that, obscure Psycho Ranger figures outside of cons, just normally you can buy now. So the 25th anniversary is coming up, and they're doing a big episode to commemorate the 25th anniversary of the Rangers, and they're just it's going to air on August 28th at 8 p.m. because that's when Power Rangers first premiered on the Fox Kids network. And there's a promotional shot of Jason David Frank as Tommy, who was every Ranger imaginable. I love his list. Kat Hillard, who is Catherine Sutherland, she's the second Pink Ranger, as well as the Pink Zeo in Turbo. She's in her Turbo. And then Wes is Time Force Ranger, and they're just kind of doing their morph look. And that's the first promotional shot they put out for the three returning, well-known things. And it's cool that Jason David Frank will do anything for a paycheck when it comes to Power Rangers. And I mean, I love the guy. He knows who he is, and he just runs with it, regardless of if you want him to or not. and then Wes, you see kind of at stuff, and then it's cool to see her back as stuff and acknowledging Turbo, the thing that almost killed the franchise. So that was
when they went fast. Vroom vroom.
Linkart said it best. You went from mystic, from dinosaurs to mystic things to cool robot things to fucking cars. What the fuck? And for no reason. All of a sudden we're Turbo. And everyone what happened to Zeo? They're no, we're Turbo now. Yeah. But what happened to the other powers? You didn't lose them. There's no reason in continuity in any form why they why they went to Turbo. They lost their powers in one reason or another to get to all these other ones, right? Mm-hmm. And then in the movie, the Turbo movie, she goes to morph into Zeo before in one part of the movie, before they get the Turbo powers.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And they're on the other planet, and she falls into the water, and midway through, she starts to morph into Zeo, but doesn't finish it, and it just lands in the water or whatever. And it's and then they're to go here, you need the power of Turbo. And everyone's you're going to an island with powers that technically get stronger as they go, but sure, fucking cars, why not? And then they went to space, and that was cool. Timeless is getting renewed for a 2-part finale, which I thought was pretty cool. I like when shows get their final thing, whether it be a TV movie or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's nice to have closure, so fans be well, what's going on? like, we don't need to know because, like, the show wasn't that popular, so it got canceled.
Yeah.
But I'm like, the fans who watch it, like, we want to know, like, what happens? Come on, give us the phone here. I thought that was cool. Facts of Life is getting a reboot in the works.
I just saw that right now, and I started reading.
I came across this the other day. Yeah, a Facts of Life reboot is in the works with Leonardo DiCaprio and Jessica Biel to produce.
Okay.
Yeah, it's in early stages of development. It's done by his company and her thing. Yeah, just looking to get new stuff. And then there's the whole thing about how what the Flags of Life are. And I'm just like...
So it's just a TV show, and they're producing it.
Yeah.
He's not in it. I was like, Leonardo DiCaprio's doing Facts of Life. I was like...
No, he's
He's way too cool for this.
And apparently Elf is also on...
Oh, I heard about this.
Yeah, I didn't see that. Elf is looking to get a reboot.
I think it got ordered or something. Like, not just it's that one's going in.
Elf is one of those shows, like, it was really big, you saw it anywhere, but you don't see it.
Briefly, I heard some of it. The first series happened, and then he's now with a new family.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I don't want them to do what they did with Lost in Space, where it looks nothing like the robot from Lost in Space. Like,
they got the same guy voicing him too.
Yeah, but I want Elf to look like just a better version of Elf.
Yeah, I guess I'm assuming he would, because I mean they got the same guy to voice. So,
yeah, so I like that. I like things like that. Like, I'm okay with that. And then
I remember watching that.
See, that's the thing. Like, I've watched bits and pieces of it, but like, you don't see Elf on stuff.
I can't remember what it.
Like, you see a lot of these bigger shows. They're on Hulu. They're getting signed with Hulu or Netflix or whatever. But you don't see a lot of those stuff. I did see it. Someone was asking about Family Matters, and I guess the guy who played Urkel.
Yeah.
I forget his name. Jamal White. I guess he and some other people pitched to, I think, Warner Brothers to do a reboot / animated thing with him and Carl going on wacky adventures, because Urkel wouldn't be confined to what he had to do in live action, so he could make crazy contraptions and stuff, and they'd go off and do whatever, because Urkel was making random inventions and shit. And he pitched it like a toned-down version of Rick and Morty. And I'm like... And Warner Brothers was like, nah.
Yeah, I don't think.
And I'm like, that wasn't what the essence of Family Matters was, and Urkel only got popular in that show. Like, initially, Family Matters had nothing to do with Urkel.
Yeah, he was only in one episode.
Yeah, and then everyone was like, this guy's fucking cool, and we're like, no, he isn't. But, yeah. My favorite thing about Urkel was he didn't give a fuck. Like, he was just Urkel.
Yeah.
Like, he did, like... Yeah, he was a giant fucking nerd dork, but you know what? He didn't care. I'm like, that's in a time where, like, being a fucking nerd dork was bad. Like, you can walk outside and get your ass kicked just for being a dork. And, like, now Urkel's like...
Did you hear about Macaulay?
He was shitting on something.
Wasn't shitting on something, but apparently he was doing an interview with someone, and he was saying that he had turned down Big Bang 3 times. They kept coming back with him and offering more money, and he turned it down 3 different times.
Oh, yeah?
And the last time, I guess, like, his agents were like, look, like, they keep coming back, like, you should fucking take it. And he's like, no, I don't want to do it, or whatever. Like, but it was Galecki.
Yeah.
His role.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I want to show you this because I saw this. And
I saw some pictures of Macaulay today, because I saw it in the article.
He's doing
motherfucker looks day and night to where he was like 5 years ago.
You know, because he stopped doing drugs.
Yeah.
But I saw this the other day.
Oh, I did see this.
This is crazy. And
I did see this. He looks horrible.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, this is the point of the podcast where I'm gonna give you a PSA. Drugs are really fucking bad, and like, we're laughing, but like, this is really sad, and it's really fucking bad. So it's Goldberg, the goalie from the Mighty Ducks, a franchise as a child I absolutely fucking adored, and till this day still fucking do. When they were trying to get that reboot off the ground, or the continuation of it, I was all fucking for it. A show on Netflix where it's the adult parents of these kids trying to be
like,
no, and that sucks because I think it could be really good show. It could be like your Friday Night Lights of whatnot, a show I've never watched, but just assume it's like Blue Mountain State, where it's about hockey,
but more
Friday Night Lightsy than So I saw this come up the other day on Twitter, and it was just it's really fucking sad, and it's Goldberg. He was arrested, and then they showed his mugshot. Again, I'm laughing, but it's really fucking bad. The guy looks like he's 107. And it's, Jesus Christ. Like, drugs are bad.
There it is. Sean Wise, arrested for public...
I'm not putting the picture up.
Go look for it.
Go look for it. Just search Mighty Ducks Goldberg. TMZ had the thing, and my God, he looks awful, and it's really fucking sad, and it reminds me of the situation with like Demi Lovato right now, where like she's trying to get clean, and it's a shitty situation all around, and the fact that your laptop screen is that dark just irritates me. But yeah, it's bad. It's really dark. Like that's his picture when he was young, and then like
this is what I wanted to read. Wow. That's not much. No wonder his photo looks like that.
That's more than my net worth. But if you go down, there's like a picture of him from like not too long ago, and like
right here. He
looks great. And then just like, oh man, Anyways, your PSA is over now. I brought that up when we were talking about Macaulay Culkin because like for a while we weren't sure if Macaulay Culkin was gonna make it.
Yeah.
And then he got real cleaned up and realized that he needed to get cleaned up, and he's turned himself around like
he was on,
so much.
Alan last night or something, or a couple nights ago, and that's
I've read some stories of him from just like a while ago, and like all that shit just fucked him up, and like he's better now, and I'm happy for it because like drugs are bad, and like there was people fighting on the internet like because just bullshit like. With Demi, and it was about like, yeah, she did the drugs, and like people are like, oh, it's not a disease, blah blah blah. Stop doing the drugs, blah blah blah. Like you had to do it in the first place to get that problem. And it's like you shouldn't have done that. But it's like, yeah, but you don't know. Like, don't fucking jump on people because you're just like they did drugs, they're awful. Maybe like drugs are bad, obviously, but yeah, it is a fucking disease. It's a problem like any other fucking disease out there. Alcoholism, anything like that, it is a fucking disease. Like, and then just to like shit on these people when they're fucking just in the worst possible places, like just don't. Like, yeah, we were laughing because like fuck, that was bad.
The picture looks horrible. He looks like he's 105.
It's really fucking bad, and it threw me the first time I saw it. I thought it was one of those fucking like you won't believe what this person looks like, and it's complete bullshit picture. The fucking real picture, and it's like this guy needs help. But enough of the PSA. Let's go talk about random shit that let's shit on Supergirl. So Supergirl is allegedly in the works, and they have a scriptwriter already, and everyone went, thanks, where's Man of Steel 2?
Yeah, the whole internet was like, okay, so where's Man of Steel 2?
The headline I read, I told you what it was. It was like, I can't remember what it was now, but it was such a good headline of like, while you wait for Man of Steel 2, here's Supergirl or whatever. And I'm just like, yeah, so, okay. I don't...
The guy that wrote... What did he just write?
Erwin Uzui?
Yeah, I thought he just wrote something. I think it's the guy that did Equalizer.
Oh, with... Okay, that's weird. So, like, I thought that was one of those, like, direct-to-Netflix, like, DVD-type movies. Apparently it isn't.
No,
and apparently it has enough of a thing that it got a sequel.
This is the second one.
Yeah, and I'm like, didn't even know this movie fucking existed. And, like, it's on my Netflix, like, action movie category, but I'm like, no fucking clue what this movie is. Is it like John Wick?
It would be like a John Wick, but with Denzel.
I'd watch that, man. We watched the fucking Raid this week.
I seen the trailer for the second one.
Equalizer?
Equalizer 2. Just, I forget what I went to go see. Maybe, I don't know. I went to see something last month or whatever. Yeah. And that trailer played for it. And it looked pretty good.
So I know we're kind of jumping all over the place. It's just because we had a lot of stories and kind of a lot of shit. So there's 3 Netflix update things. Stranger Things might be delayed to make it better. Sabrina the Teenage... That's not right. The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina as a release date. It is October 25th. It's the 10 episodes of the first season. That's cool. I'm intrigued to see what the Sabrina that's supposed to be the way the comic Sabrina is, as opposed to the Teenage Witch ABC one, which I watched back in the day on TGIF, just to give you how dated we are. I'm intrigued to see this. It's kind of a spin-off to how Riverdale is. I really enjoy Riverdale. So I'll check this out, definitely. It's 10 episodes, Netflix knocked that shit out easily. And then I saw this yesterday. I didn't put it on the doc, but it's may be delayed, maybe not, because they're under contract. But the kids on the what's that fucking suicide show?
13 Reasons.
13 Reasons, thank you. They're all under contract for the next season, which is supposed to start shooting in a week. But apparently they're renegotiating their salaries, and they all want to bump in pay.
How can you do that if you're under contract?
I have no fucking clue.
Start working, or you just recast?
Basically, it's kind of where I was at, and I'm like...
Right now, you stop a week before we're supposed to roll, and you're going to pull up this bitch. I'd pull them all.
The one guy wants like 200,000 per episode, and I think Netflix was like, "We'll give you 180." I'd be like, "Cool, thank you." That was the main star. He's the main cast.
Contract says 120.
Yeah.
Next year,
I think it was actually like 60 thing. So he wants a big pay cut or raise, and I went, "How can you?" Like, they're supposed to show up, and I'm like, how can you not show up? Anyways, that might delay that season thing. I'm done. I've decided. Like, I watched the first season, second season, I'm like, I might check out, but I'm like, it seemed like a stupid fucking thing to have a sequel to when the whole point was about her. Mm-hmm. But I guess the second one deals with the aftermath of that, and I'm just like, I don't care. The whole point of this was like 13 reasons why I did this. He gave me the 13 reasons. I'm done.
Yeah.
I said a while ago I might check it out, but I'm just like, I don't care. And now you're going into the third season of it, and she's not even in it because she died in the first season. Spoiler. She died in the first like 5 fucking minutes. But yeah, I'm just like, I just don't care. But we talked about Netflix things, so here you go. The Seed web series from CW's Constantine City of Dreams is getting a full feature length. What they're doing is the 5 episodes that were aired on the thing is going to be converted into a full length movie. So they're going to take the 5 episodes, add new footage, and put it into a feature length film.
I saw this and I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, I saw this and I was like, wait, what? So Constantine...
I was like, wait, is this one of the films from like the animated series? You know, like the...
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't know this was one of those films.
So basically, which means I don't have to watch The Seed now because I wanted to watch this. But City of Dreams is going to come out... it's going to come out October 9th on everything. And we'll have some never-before footage. And yeah, that's cool. I like it. I wish they would do this with all the CW Seed series.
Just put them out.
Just put them out together as one thing. Add some new footage for people who don't watch that stuff. Like with maybe they did it with Vixen. It says like with Vixen. So maybe they did do it. I know they did. They announced a new season of the Rocket guy from the other Seed series that they put in the anniversary special. That guy from the Nazi world. Yeah, I know. I forget his name, but yeah, he got a new season too. Something in the Freedom Fighters. Mm-hmm. Spot. Clifford the Big Red Dog. I have no fucking clue.
Oh, that was such a good show.
Yeah. It's crazy, like, because what's his face voiced it? Ritter was the voice of Clifford, and not a lot of people knew that. And then when he died, they ended the show. Yeah. And I'm like, I respect that decision. And did we talk about this? I thought we did. Wilson Bethel appears.
Confirmed.
Yeah.
Like now, we talked about when it was
rumored. So he's now confirmed to be Bullseye in the new season of Daredevil.
Which will release this
fall. They announced that, and I was like, sweet. That means we're getting every fucking show this year, which is fucking awesome. And they I think we talked about the Iron Fist trailer. I think me and you, did we do it? I don't know. Anyways, we got one. It looks better. It looks like they went out of their way. They listened to criticism and they fixed season 2 from the sound of it. I'm like, that's cool. I like when they're like, okay, maybe we didn't do so hot. Here's how we fix it. We've been talking about this for a while, the Halo series that they're trying to develop on Showtime. Everyone was like, what's it going to be? Who's going to be it? It looks like Master Chief will be the lead character in that series. Cool. Halo, even though the games have sucked, is still, well, haven't sucked. They haven't been great. Is still a big thing that people are like for. Then on, I think it was last Sunday? Yeah, it would have been last Sunday. Patrick Stewart announced that after time being away from Star Trek and Jean-Luc Picard, he's ready to play the character again. And he's going to come back. It was one of the series that they worked on, or they're going to be working on, that we talked about a while ago, that they were going to revamp some of this Trek stuff with the guy who wrote most of the Trek stuff right now, and he's working on Discovery. The other half of that writing team, whose name I can't remember right now, but they're big name. He's coming back. He's going to play Jean-Luc Picard, and it's going to be set in the not the normal timeline, and it's going to take place after Nemesis. And this will be the first, I believe, of any property, I know at least of TV and film, that will take place post-Nemesis. Because nothing has, because they've been so afraid to touch it because of the bad taste that Nemesis left in people's mouth, as well as Enterprise, which took place beforehand, but it still kind of sucked. So that's cool. And plus, it's Patrick Stewart. What
was his series?
Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Next Generation.
Yeah. So
and then it went Generation, Enterprise, Nemesis.
No, it went Next Generation, at the same time kind of afterwards Deep Space Nine, and then at the same time kind of afterwards, like all within the same kind of time frame, Voyager, and then Enterprise.
And then Nemesis.
And then Nemesis, yeah. And while they were doing First Contact, Generations were also the movies within that. And then, yeah, this will be the first time they visit what happens after Nemesis and the split with them blowing up the one planet that led to the split with Kelvin universe and whatnot, which led into the reboots, yeah. And like we were saying, I love that they did that. They kept the original timeline intact, but they also have this alternate universe timeline, which is great. But this will take place because Discovery takes place before everything. Which it's still a pretty good show, but like I'm excited to see. I don't necessarily care for shit that happened before Enterprise, because I'm just like, it's not really that whatever. But this taking place afterwards is pretty cool. I'm excited to see what they do. It's Patrick Stewart back as Jean-Luc Picard. He's not going to be a captain of a ship, they said, but he'll be doing something within the Trek universe, which is fucking awesome. Because good Trek is good Trek. And he put out like this heartfelt post on, I think, like Instagram or Twitter, that he was coming back, and it was like, and then he showed up at the Star Trek experience in Vegas that night, and he was talking about it. And I'm like, that's fucking cool. I want to see. Ben Schwartz is Sonic. He's your Sonic in the Sonic movie.
I was like, okay.
I'm like, all right, cool. I'm like, this movie's gonna be just so fucking bad. Anyways, I've shit on that movie enough. Moving on. Doom Patrol has cast
Javon Wade.
There you go. To play as Cyborg in the live-action Doom Patrol show, which I didn't know Cyborg was part of Doom Patrol or had anything to do with it. But okay, cool. We now have two. Cyborgs. We have 2 Flashes and 2 Cyborgs. I'm confused. I don't know which one goes in what. That's an old Warner Brothers joke. Anyways, that's cool. Excited to see what they do, I guess. I don't know. I don't either. But you know what? It'll be on that network I eventually get to watch at some point, maybe.
But you know what? There's stuff on Netflix that I don't watch. So there's going to be stuff on this network that I probably don't watch.
I'll watch probably the first initial wave just to be like, hey, I'm watching this. But after that, I'm like, American Girl or Liberty Bell or whatever the fuck her name. American Girl.
I'm like, I probably will never watch it.
I might check out Doom Patrol. It's only so much I can watch on this network. And then I added this because it was cool. David Schwimmer is set for an arc on the next season of Will and Grace. And I'm like, can you play Ross Geller? And that leads into the reboot of Thing. Or not the reboot, the just continue revival of Friends. But I thought that was cool. You don't hear really much from David Schwimmer other than like maybe he does a guest star or whatever. But I thought that was cool. I want to see if they have this picture up. I need a link. Oh, at the top. Yeah. Anyway, get to that in a minute. Clicking around. Sony has scrapped Black Cat and Silver Sable movie in favor of solo films. So, according to Variety, Sony is now interested in developing standalone projects centered around popular Spider-Man characters. Because why the fuck not? So instead of a movie with Black Cat and Silver Sable in the same movie, we're now going to get 2 movies that you'll never see instead of 1. So yeah, that's stupid. This is fucking stupid. As well as Morbius the Living Vampire, starring Leto, is still in development.
That one's supposed to film in September.
I don't give a fuck about that movie. And Kraven the Hunter's getting a movie in Silk as well. And then because apparently Sony has access to over 9,000 Marvel characters, they can make as many movies as they want, as long as they are all Spider-Man related, because that's all they fucking have. So prepare for every fucking spin-off imaginable you can think of if there's a Spider-Man character. You know who gets one? Aunt May. You get the origin of Aunt May and how she met Uncle Ben. That leads into not seeing Peter Parker.
Yeah, the Uncle Ben, Aunt May, and then like his parents.
No. These are supporting characters who do not... You know what I don't want to see? A full movie starring Kraven the Hunter. You know what I want to see? Him fight Spider-Man for 5 minutes and then get the fuck off my screen. Morbius the Vampire. You know what I want to see him do? Absolutely fucking nothing, because he's not an interesting character. He's a character that wanted to be something and got turned into a vampire because of bullshit. And he's not even a real vampire. So get the fuck out of here. You know what I don't want to see a whole movie of? Black Cat. Because I don't care. You know who I don't want to see a movie of? Silver Sable. Because I don't care.
These movies are happening. So
no. You know what I don't want to see? A movie about Silk. A character that they fucking retroactive into the fucking Spider-Man mythos.
Well, I just want to talk about the Sony universe of Marvel characters.
Yeah, with over 9,000 fucking Spider-Man characters. But not Spider-Man because we can't say Spider-Man.
Sumik, Sony universe of Marvel characters. That's what it's called.
Yeah, it's tied into the Dark Universe too. You know what I don't want to see a movie of? Jared Leto.
He's getting this and a Joker movie.
Great, he can fuck up 2 characters I have. Well, 1 character I like and 1 character I like to shit on. Morbius the Living fucking Vampire. You want to watch Morbius the Vampire? Go watch an episode of Spider-Man the Animated Series. You want to see Black Cat? Go watch any Spider-Man series. You don't need a fucking movie. It's just absolutely fucking pointless to me. Grand Theft Auto 5 is pushing towards 100 million as Take-Two numbers soar. So yeah, this game that you'd think everyone would fucking own by now continues to sell more. What did we say, 80 last time? Like, Jesus Christ. And then I think we talked about this, the PlayStation now. The PS4 has now eclipsed the PS3. Mm-hmm. And they're releasing a cool anniversary edition of the console to go with it. But it's on its way to being one of either second or third of the highest selling consoles, which is pretty cool. Take that, Xbox. You suck. And then this is kind of weird, but I wanted to see what it was. It says Resident Evil 2 Collector's Edition going old school with a typewriter. I had read that it was, it's a vintage typewriter look, but it's also a Bluetooth keyboard. it will cost you $675.
Ooh.
But it looks...
Is there a picture of it?
Yeah, I'm trying to get to it. It's just fucking ads up the ass on this fucking website. I don't ever go to this website on...
There's no picture.
Yeah, there's no... I know there's a fucking picture. It's got a lot of shit in this fucking thing, too, though. Why is there not a picture?
So, let's open a new Google page.
Just type in Resident Evil 2 to see if it comes up.
Resident Evil typewriter.
I should type Resident Evil, see if it comes up. So that'll be a big story, right? The keyboard types out the letters that it wants to.
Oh, there it is.
There it is. Let's go to here, because there's an actual picture. And I mean, it looks like a fucking keyboard. It looks like a typewriter. Yeah. It's pretty cool, because obviously, like in Resident Evil, the first couple games, you would sit.
Play on that? What is this?
No, it's just a keyboard.
It's just a.
It's
a Bluetooth something.
Yeah, it's a Bluetooth keyboard.
Bluetooth keyboard.
Yeah.
That you can just use on your desktop.
Yeah, like the wireless keyboard here, you just use it as a keyboard. But it looks like the style of the old typewriters that we use.
And how's that tied to Resident Evil?
Because in Resident Evil, the first 3, maybe 4, I haven't played 4, so I'm not sure. Actually, I played a bit of 4, but I don't remember how you save. You would use a typewriter. You would find ink ribbon, and you would only have so much ink ribbon because you'd have to think about where you wanted to save, and you would save on old typewriters. So, and like in your inventory, you had to have ink ribbon or you couldn't save.
You couldn't save the game?
No.
Oh, yeah.
And it made it more terrifying because you're like, fuck. But yeah, that's what it is. And I thought that was cool it adds to like the random shit that you could get with...
that they could just ask money for and millions of people will buy this
exactly.
for $800.
Yeah. But what's cool about it
I love when it says 75,000 yen.
Yeah. But what I like about it is it's not just... Like, statues are cool. We have a club who collect a statue.
Like,
it is an actual functioning keyboard.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a good keyboard. Maybe, because some people will spend that money on a keyboard depending on what they're doing. Mm-hmm. I bought mine for $20, but this is cool. Mm-hmm. And I mean, you get a bunch of other shit with it too, but
yeah,
that's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Yeah, it does. It works.
January 25th, 2019.
I'm excited. There is like a big game that I want to try to play like every month leading up to fucking everything.
Every month leading up to every month.
Like, until we get back to the point of like, there's the lull to catch up on all the shit you didn't get to play. Like, fucking Spider-Man. The hype is real for that game. I hope it's fucking good. And there was an article up the other day. It was just talking about like trying to beat or live up to or surpass or get out of the shadow of the Arkham Batman game, like, being like
knowing that everyone's copying Arkham.
Exactly. So like basically this game will not live up to other Spider-Man games. It has to live up to the legacy of the Arkham games. Yeah. And I'm like, I feel really bad for it.
Well, we talked about before, any game since then, you could tell, oh, that's Arkham stuff.
Yeah, like Assassin's Creed has adopted it and made it better. Shadow of Mordor.
Because they come out after. So like you saw what not failed, but glitches. And then you add your own character personal touches to the fight style. But that fight model, Arkham.
Yeah.
You won't get away from that. You won't be able to like break the mold of that. Unless you do something completely different.
Yeah.
And looking at the game, it doesn't look completely different.
No.
It looks like Arkham.
It looks good. It
sounds
great. It
looks amazing.
But
it doesn't look like they broke it.
How much does this look? Okay, so
official look at Dora the Explorer.
She just looks like a chick with a backpack. Like, I know that what Dora is, but like,
she's wearing the same outfit.
Yeah.
Did you click on the article?
I have to wait for it to come back through. It's her wearing a backpack. I've decided I really hate looking at things on the internet on my actual desktop. Yeah, there she is. She's wearing a backpack. Like, they couldn't even give her, like, how the map or the backpack looks. Nope. She's wearing a pink T-shirt and her backpack's purple. Shorts on.
The one I seen, it was a full picture.
Oh yeah, maybe if you go down. Yeah, there you go. There's your
orange shirts, yellow socks. Looks just like the cartoon.
It looks like if someone cosplayed as Dora the Explorer. Yeah. It comes out next year, August 2nd. I saw the date and I'm like, did we miss this movie? But yeah, it's an older take on the animated character. She's entering high school as the story begins, but the bunch of shit, I just don't care. Like, I do not care. It's like Indiana Jones, the 8-year-old version. Yeah. I was going to say the female version, but we have that. It's Tomb Raider. But, okay. This has been one of those ones, it's like, hey, what's on? Dora the Explorer. Yeah, this movie will do fucking gangbusters. Yeah. Fuck off, Scotia. I'm not richer than I think. And then, yeah, that's.
I got nothing else.
I got nothing. Birds of Prey might start shooting. Oh, I saw this making the rounds today. And the last little bit.
Did you see that? Okay, click on that. I want to see if there's a quote in there, particularly. Okay, so you see where the quote marks are?
Yeah.
So the quote is, "It is time." Like, that's the quote.
Yeah.
It is time. Completely out of context. Because time for what? Time for anything. Like, it is time. And will happen eventually is the next quote. And I'm like, that's so weird that that's how the article is written and presented, because it doesn't say anything. Like, it does say that, like...
It's vague fucking future speak, and I hate it. So basically, what's making the rounds now is Idris Elba may look like he is the front runner to play 007 in the next round of 007 James Bond.
Well, that's not even the thing. The thing is, like, this Equalizer director was speaking to the producer of the the Bond movies, and Barbara is quoted as saying, "It is time for a person of color to become the new James Bond, and that casting will happen eventually." But the quote isn't the whole thing. It just says, her quote is, "It is time."
Yeah.
And then the article goes, "For a person of color to become the next James Bond."
I have seen this making, like, and I'm like, not just this, but I've seen it.
But they're all listed, like, the same way. I looked at other articles, they were listed the same way, as, like, her quote being just the 3 words. And I'm like, that's not a quote of, like, her saying this.
Idris Elba is badass.
And then I think they brought him back in, because he was brought in a few years ago.
He was another one of the front runners with Craig. Yeah, and so, Henry Cavill has also stated he wants to play Bond. He also wants to play The Witcher, which I'm like, fuck yeah, he wants to do it, let him. Yeah. And then Tom Holland also wants to play Bond, and everyone went, you can't play Bond because you can't keep your mouth shut. You will tell us the entire movie plot before the movie comes out. I think they should just stop giving him a script. He gets the script when he shoots his scene.
Yeah.
And then they knock him unconscious. But he's getting up there.
Idris is 45 years old. So
yeah, you're gonna run into the same. You're gonna run into the same problem you did with Craig.
Yeah, you're not gonna cast a 50-year-old to start his run of Bond.
From what I've seen, I haven't seen Mission Impossible yet. From what I've seen from Cavill, if he wants to play Bond, let's let him.
Like I said, if he did The Witcher, I'd be watching that series as opposed to me never watching that series.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's interesting.
It's not like he's doing anything else.
No. What's a Superman movie? We don't need any of those. Fuck that.
Oh, well. You done?
I think we're done. Where are we at here?
104.
Yeah, I'm out of fucking news anyways. Thank you everyone for watching this week's podcast. As always, thank you for your continued support and growing our sub members. I really appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching our videos. Thanks for dropping in on the live streams. We're actually trying to plan and maybe do this live and figure out how we're going to work that. I'm pretty sure it's easy, but we just figure out the logistics of what we want to do while we record it. But anyways.
Location.
From where? Like down the block?
Just go somewhere and shoot.
Hi, we're live from the Tim Hortons parking lot. We're going to do the same shtick we normally do, but why not?
Outside.
But outside. Yeah. Because we're two people who constantly cannot remember to turn on the sound, the recording, take the fucking lens cap off if we had one. But yeah, we're going to do this outside on location. Anyway, thank you. Just sit in a tent and do it. Write everything down because we would be in the wilderness and no Wi-Fi. Anyways, we're leaving.
I do it from the wilderness.
That's the only way we're doing it from location. On a log in the middle of a stream. We're idiots. We will see you next week. Goodbye. Please like and subscribe.